So
Press it? Oh, you can go ahead.
Oh, no, it's not like a regular laptop. You got to press it below it, right there. Yeah.
There
you go.
Yeah.
Oh, then do it. Press it one time.
you probably got to refresh.
Let's see.
Crab.
It's all good.
Well, we are live on YouTube.
They were creating my video. Was in the pub. Oh.
Yeah. I can't even see you. I can see it.
We got technical difficulties.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, y'all ready?
Yep.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
What's going on?
This is the third episode of Asking for a Friend, and today we have a guy that I've known for at least since high school, at least since I was about a freshman. We got Adam Carson here, and he's going to talk to us about Bitcoin. But first, I don't know if you are familiar with what we're doing here, so I'm going to just tell you that Asking for a Friend is pretty much a platform we created where the community could ask us questions and give us topics, and we'll pretty much have a panel of either random or whoever volunteers to come and talk about it. We just pretty much talk about issues and display different perspectives, and we might argue and yell a little bit. You know, it might get a little intense sometimes, but that's pretty much what we do here. But I want to introduce everyone. We have Ari over here.
Hello, everyone.
And we have Ebony,
Hello.
and I'm Lauren. Sorry to be so rude. But pretty much we're going to talk about Bitcoin today. And I know a little bit about the subject. You know, not too much, but from what I see online, Bitcoin is blowing up pretty fast. And Adam, he's pretty much the person who really got me into it, because I know a lot of people saw that movie Dope. Did y'all see Dope?
I did.
Have you seen Dope? Well, I think they were selling the drugs with Bitcoin. But nobody really caught that because, you know what I'm saying, it's not mainstream yet.
I didn't catch that
You didn't catch it?
at all. I really didn't.
I was already hip, and I was like, dang, that's what that was, because they were in the computer lab. You know? Yeah. So, pretty much, man, if you could explain to the audience, what is Bitcoin? If you could just simplify it, what is Bitcoin?
So,
Bitcoin can mean different things to different people, but for me, it's freedom. For me, it's financial freedom. Um, it's the word I like to use because essentially, with Bitcoin, you you become your own bank. It's decentralized, so you basically can do whatever you want with your money. Like if I wanted to send you 200,000, 500,000, $1 million right now in Bitcoin, I can send it to you and you'll get it in 5 seconds. No paperwork involved. No one saying where'd you get the funds from? Like none of that. Like you have full control over your money. Um, second thing about it is it appreciates. So it's not like the U.S. dollar, which really has no value sitting in a savings account because they don't really pay you much. Um, and with inflation, you really kind of lose money keeping your money in U.S. dollars. Hope the government watching this, but Bitcoin's the way to go if you want to have financial freedom and do what you want with your hard-earned money.
Right. So pretty much, who regulates Bitcoin?
So right now, it's not regulated, and that's kind of something that the Bitcoin war is going through right now. You have your miners, which are the people who basically approve all the transactions in the Bitcoin network. And then you have what they call a blockchain, which is kind of what the network is called overall. It get kind of over some people's head, but essentially, Bitcoin was supposed to be a really fast way to make transactions. If you want to send money internationally, there's minimal fees, and it's supposed to be really fast. So what happened was when Bitcoin started booming, like you said earlier, it started to pick up so fast that the network couldn't keep up with all the new people that was coming to get involved. So transactions became slower, fees became higher because miners wanted more money. So right now it's still not regulated, but they are trying to find a better way to keep it organized to where transactions go through faster and can actually allow the Bitcoin to increase up in its value like it's supposed to. So
Okay. And for everybody watching, Bitcoin it's not a tangible object
correct.
like a phone or what you see here on the table. It's internet currency. It's digital money.
Right.
So a lot of people are probably thinking about it as quarters and gold tokens, but it's nothing you can take with you in your pocket. It's pretty much all within the internet. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So oh, you
I
got a
have a
question?
question. So people like me, everyday, like you and me, if you were interested in getting involved, where would you go? Is there a website? Or...
So what I recommend is get with somebody who's already doing it because it can be confusing. Me, I have an IT background, so it kind of stuck with me a little quicker than most people. So luckily, I had some friends though that put me onto it. They've been doing it for many years now, and they finally brought it to my attention. And I was like, man, why didn't y'all tell me about this like years ago? Because beginning of this year, you could have got it way cheaper than what it is now.
Okay.
But definitely, if someone's interested, do a little bit of research, but don't get too deep in it because there's a lot of misinformation online about what it is and what it's gonna be. I would really get with somebody who's already doing it and let them show you step by step on how to get it, how to invest it, and how to really make it work for whatever your goals are.
Okay. So do you have a question for him yet? Not yet.
I'm
You getting there?
one
Okay. All right.
together.
Are you ready?
Okay. So now another question I have is, how would you translate the U.S. dollar to Bitcoin? For example, I know a lot of people are wondering, if I spend $200 on Bitcoin, how much Bitcoin will I get? Or will I get 200 Bitcoins?
Okay. So there's a misconception. So this confuses a lot of people. A lot of people try to think of it as how much is it for one Bitcoin?
Right.
So you don't have to buy one Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just like a
unit of measure. Pretty much.
Yeah. It gives you something to go off of. But it's hard to say. Like I can't tell you how much. If you gave me $200, I can't right now tell you how much you'll get in Bitcoin value because Bitcoin changes about a second. I have market analysis on my phone. I can check it at any time to see what the market value of the Bitcoin is at the time. and then I can tell you how much you can get based on calculations that they have online,
Right.
tools that they have online. It'll tell you how much you can get
Right.
with the U.S. dollars.
So, as far as you can see, it's becoming more expensive to acquire Bitcoin.
Absolutely. Back in 2009, when Bitcoin first started, you could get Bitcoin was about half a cent. You could get one whole Bitcoin for half a cent. So there's some guys that still actually kept some of that money they invested back then, and they're billionaires right now. Beginning of this year, it was around $760 something for one coin, and now it's floating around $2,600. It actually hit its highest mark about 3 weeks ago at 3,000. So it's very volatile, which means that it jumps. It could jump here and it could jump down here in a day. That's just the way Bitcoin works. So yeah, the value of it's supposed to increase to about, experts are saying about 5,000 by the end of the year. So that's how much.
All right, so say the everyday person, right? They're having financial struggles like everybody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
How can Bitcoin help the everyday person, opposed to just going into the stock market or real estate? Like, how can Bitcoin be an avenue that people can take instead of being intimidated and going into real estate and the stock market?
Really good question. So, for me, it depends on what you do with your Bitcoin. There's two ways mainly that an average person can make money with Bitcoin, and that's buying and holding, just like real estate. Buy whatever you can, hold it, and wait till the value of it appreciates to the point to where you want to sell it off. The other way is investing in it, which is what smart people do, like me. So you take your Bitcoin, you find a reputable place to invest it, and allow your Bitcoin to accumulate over time. So the Bitcoin you start with now becomes a lot more passively, meaning that you don't have to do anything to have it increase.
Right.
And then when you're ready to cash out, then you cash out whenever you feel. So.
Okay, so
To answer your question.
so if Bitcoin isn't mainstream, how exactly would someone cash out on Bitcoin?
So, very tricky. Again, that goes back to having someone in your corner that is already doing it.
Right.
So, one of the strategies that we use, and I probably shouldn't be giving this out, but since I'm on the show, I'm gonna go ahead and give out this gem here. So what we do is we buy on Bitcoin, we invest our Bitcoin. We're looking at it more long term, 3 to 5 years type deal. Once we're done, once we're ready to cash out, instead of transferring that Bitcoin into USD through a bank account, it's smarter to local trade it, say like on a black market. So you gotta understand, there's millions of people in the world, like places in Africa, places in some of the poorer countries in the world. They can't just go to a bank and open up a bank account, right? So Bitcoin is their way of getting into the financial investment world.
That sounds dangerous.
It's kind of dangerous.
It sounds dangerous.
It can be.
Sounds dangerous.
It can be. But these people will pay a premium. They're willing to pay a premium for Bitcoin just so they can, start something for their families. Wealth building.
Right.
So once we get our Bitcoin, we then sell it to these people at a higher profit margin. So not only have we been building our Bitcoin by investing it over time, our exit strategy, we actually sell it to some of these people like that, and we can get more on the way out.
Right.
Yeah, so.
And what I meant by dangerous, I meant not dangerous because anybody can just go cash out, but dangerous because you know what happens to when people mess up the structure of currency. You get what I'm saying? The balance of power.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be worried about the average consumer. Most people just want to live good. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
So, that's what I meant by that.
Absolutely. No, I got you.
Yeah, just to clear that up.
I got you.
You get a question yet? I know you think about
I
something.
got one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said something about miners. What do miners do?
So mining is it's really the core on how Bitcoin works. So mining is essentially like a really expensive supercomputer. Like these computers, I mean, they range from 10 to 20,000. Like they have mining farms where it's a whole big warehouse, yeah,
full of
yeah, some
supercomputers.
bad, some bad stuff. So
Right.
it's unaffordable for an average person. Like this is some stuff that some of the big wigs are doing. Like they're starting their own farms like that, and all they do is, if I say I want to send you $1,000 in Bitcoin, right? It hits one of these mining computers, and it basically says, this person. It doesn't say my name or anything like that. There's no like trace back to like a person's name, address, and none of that.
But everything is transparent, though. All purchases.
Yeah.
are transparent.
There's a public ledger. That's
Okay.
what the blockchain is.
Okay.
So it's a public ledger where you can see every transaction ever made on the Bitcoin network, but it's impossible to tell where and who they came from.
Right.
So the miners, they basically like approve that. So they approve me sending it to you, and vice versa.
Right.
That's what these computers do, and they do it on automation. It's not someone just clicking. They set it up and it runs on its own.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
fine.
It's. I mean, I don't want to say it's like, but it's all. It reminds me of maybe like an enterprise server or something like that would have to
You
run
look at it like
24 hours a
Yeah,
day.
yeah, definitely.
And you just get people to pretty much look over it, make sure it's
Yeah.
doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Okay. I had another question. It just kind of slipped my mind when I said that, but I wanted to ask you about as far as legislation, right? Well, not legislation, but as far as regulation. What are the pros and cons of Bitcoin being regulated?
The pros is, I think the average person would probably be more involved. I think it would be more mainstream, because of course public information would be out there more. It'll be more readily available. As far as the cons, it kind of defeats the purpose of what Bitcoin is supposed to be. It's supposed to be the opposite of what the government does with our money, as far as taking our money and investing it the way they want to. And then, we want to go for a house loan or a car loan, they won't give it to us. It's essentially what banks are doing. Banks are taking our money. They are investing it in stocks and stuff like this themselves and making crazy returns on it. And then, they'll pay us. Yeah, they pay us less than 1% a year on our savings account, which is ridiculous. So by being unregulated, like, and decentralized, like, that's the power of it. Like my bank is like right here. Like I don't need anything else but this in order to send and receive money internationally, if I want, wherever I want at a minimal fee. So I don't know if I answered the question good enough or not, but I think there's more. Cons than pros of it being regulated.
Just because of how new it is
Yeah.
and how fresh it is to the scene.
Yeah.
And also I heard the guy who came up with Bitcoin, he gave it to the public under alias. Because people really can't find this real guy. They said he was talking to people online for a while, and then he just kind of disappeared once it got jumping.
Yeah, I forgot the guy's name.
It's like a Japanese name.
Japanese guy. I don't know the full story with that, man. But like,
y'all got the internet. Find the guy's name.
He's like some mysterious guy, man. That like nobody. Like,
I think it's an alias.
Where he is. I don't think it's a real person.
Yeah, I think it's an alias.
I think it is too.
Yeah,
I think it is.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It's some dope stuff though. What he did, for sure.
All right. So now I guess one of the main questions is how can specifically for marginalized people, how could Bitcoin be a way to build wealth? Even though you've already said it,
right.
but just so they'll hear it again.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, so let me be a little more specific on my situation. So, well, let me reverse back. So Bitcoin, it just actually surpassed gold as far as its value. So Bitcoin will always appreciate in value. And the great thing about it is there's only going to be a finite
Well, hold on.
amount.
Can I stop you real
Yeah,
quick? Because
yeah,
you say a lot of stuff, and I be having questions.
Yeah, I
right,
got you.
right.
Go ahead, man. I got you.
So
I feel you.
it appreciates in value the more it's being used, right? The more people get into it,
Yep.
and the more it's being involved in daily trade, the more
Yep.
valuable it's becoming.
Yep. Bitcoin is a supply and demand business. So the more people know about it,
Mm-hmm.
the higher the value of it is. And the coolest thing about it is there's only going to be a finite amount of it. I believe only 60% of the Bitcoins are already out in the marketplace. Once it reaches a certain amount, they're not going to produce anymore. So whoever has them, and of course at that point, the price of it's going to be through the roof.
Okay. Now,
So that makes sense.
Right, it does.
Okay.
It does. It really does.
It really does. It seems like it's something that people should really get into, or it seems like you're gonna at one point in time you're not gonna have a choice but to get into it.
Well, that's true, but I'm beating down the door right now because for one, like I've been investing for a while in other things, but this is the first thing that like I've really felt like really strong about that I can share with my people. And it's like I said, it's difficult for someone to just jump in by themselves and do it, but with the right guidance, like there's no real barrier to entry. Like
Right.
for $65 to $70, like with what I'm doing, like that could be your initial investment, and based in a year, like you can turn that over 5 times in 1 year passively without doing anything. So it felt good to get my mom on this. I got my mom involved with Bitcoin. It was amazing, and right now she's making about $4,000 a month passively with Bitcoin right now, and she can do whatever she wants with that, withdraw it. And she's retired now, so that's really going to be another piece of her retirement income.
Yeah.
So it felt really good to do that. And once I seen that, I was like, man, like I gotta share this with more people. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So basically, we need to get in before the price goes up.
Yeah, exactly.
Get in before the price goes up.
So how do you even get in? For the people, how do you even get in? Because yesterday I researched a few Bitcoin wallets, places where you can, just sign up and then you can start making transactions.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you even have resources like that.
Yeah.
Now they even have handheld things where you can check.
Yeah.
What's going on.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like it's getting real. You know what I mean?
It's getting crazy real. Like right now, it's still it's higher than it was, but when it hits like 5,000-10,000 per coin, like you're not gonna. It's gonna be unaffordable for the average person to really get any significant amount. You know what I mean? So the time is now to get in as much as you can. Like you said, you don't have to buy one whole coin. You can buy half of one. You can buy a smaller fraction, however much you can afford. Like I'm telling people just to get some.
So
the same amount.
So how do they actually break a Bitcoin up? You can sell like 0.3% of your Bitcoin.
Yeah, you can sell however
literally.
Yeah, exactly. Because whatever.
Or if you only have 0.3 of a Bitcoin, you could sell 0.3 of that 0.3.
Yep, you can sell whatever
Wow.
you have that has a dollar value, whether it's pound, whether it's euro, whether it's US. There's a dollar value on that, and that person may buy that from you and turn around and mark it up and sell it to someone else for even more than they bought it from you. So that's kind of how the game works with the trading.
So is the idea to sell it to the highest bidder or keep it and
I think it's both.
Well,
I think it depends on who
it's
you are.
both. It depends on who you are. With Bitcoin, like with the local trading. So let me explain this. So there's local traders and then there's investors. So with me, I don't like to work for my money. I like to be able to do what I want to do and not have to run around ragged for my money. So I just invest my Bitcoin. But other people, they trade it, meaning they buy their Bitcoin. There's a process to buying Bitcoin online. You have to provide a credit card or a debit card. Some of them make you take a picture with your ID and like just to make sure you are who you say you are. A lot of people don't want to do that. So what they'll do is they have cash. So what they do is you put up an ad saying, I have 1 Bitcoin for sale and whatever the market value is. Let's say the market value of a Bitcoin right now is $1,000, right? So just people in Africa and all these places I was telling you about, not even them.
Everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Wherever there's internet.
Right. They'll mark it up 15 to 30%. So you got it for $1,000, but you sold it for $1,400. And they're doing that all day long. Like there's people, lines of people who want. Yeah, they're just flipping all day long.
All day flipping.
Picking up money. Like they're harder.
So are they making any? So are there any losses to flipping like that? Do you lose any?
No matter what the price of Bitcoin is, you still have your markup. You feel me? So the only thing that could you could lose with that is, let's say you bought your own Bitcoin at 2,000 and you waited a week to try to sell it off, and Bitcoin decreased in value. The price of it went down. So of course you lost that margin from what you bought it at to what it's currently the market of it is. So you can still mark it up, but you still won't have. That's kind of the game you play. You kind of want to kind of time it. Like you look at graphs and like all kind of like analysis to see when the best time it is to sell and buy. So it's kind of strategic, but those are the traders. Like those are the real traders. Like that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? I don't really play that game, but not yet anyway.
Okay, so if in fact it's digital currency, can it be hacked? Can your Bitcoin be hacked?
Depends on where you have it. If you have it just on a wallet somewhere, I never recommend that because
so have multiple wallets.
Well, not even that. They have different type of wallets. So they have e-wallets, which is just kind of like a bank account, right? Like you have your Bitcoin sitting in this wallet, just sitting there, not doing anything. Depends on the site, depends on the security of the site. It could be hacked. Of course, where I keep mine, according to my research, it's impossible to do, but whatever. Then they have hard wallets, which is like you can actually take your Bitcoin and you can transfer it to like a physical USB stick to where it's offline. So, physically, if you lose it, of course,
it's on you.
Yeah, it's on you.
But no one can steal it from you.
Yeah. So
you're responsible.
Right.
So that's another question. So if you can transfer it to USB, can you duplicate your USB and then have double your Bitcoin?
No, you can't do that. I don't know
how they do it.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but no, like it's.
You can't have counterfeit Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Okay.
I don't know how. I don't know how that works because I haven't really looked into that piece of it, but I know for sure that that's not possible.
So I'm sure as this thing grows, things have to be upgraded. And who does the upkeep in the Bitcoin community? Are there?
Well, what if the government gets a hold of it? Like.
So that's another thing. So the government will always try to they've already tried to investigate one of the exchanges. Exchanges meaning places where you can buy Bitcoin from. They're based in the U.S. They basically wanted to find out. They wanted information on all their users and their activity buying Bitcoin because of course they want a piece. They want to figure out who's spending what so they can tax it. So they ended up outruling that. I think they went to court and the IRS ended up backing off of the case or something. So they're not actively doing that. But at this point, I haven't seen any situation where the U.S. The government got involved with anybody's Bitcoin situations unless they were doing some fraud stuff.
Is the government buying Bitcoin?
I'm guaranteeing that they are. I mean, this is the fastest growing thing out there, and I would say they wouldn't acknowledge
not
that.
Want in on it. You know what I mean? Like they want in on it.
I'm
it's the internet.
Yeah. They're definitely on it somewhere.
All right, so say someone who's flipping Bitcoin, and as far as Bitcoin, they got some money. You know what I mean? Are there any places, can they live luxurious off Bitcoin? Are there places where, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can buy things, but can you buy the average things that people are looking for? Like if you need a new, I don't know, something for your kitchen, man. Can you
Like
can
if
you
I
buy it
need
in
some bulk
Bitcoin?
toilet paper for my
Absolutely.
stuff.
So here's the deal with that. So, it hasn't hit mainstream yet, but some retailers have got on board. Like they're all jumping on this because they know this is going to be the new payment, the new way. So for merchants, right? So right now, if you swap a card, it's going to be about 3.5% transaction fee for the bank for the merchant. So accepting money in Bitcoin, it's way less money for companies to accept payments. So of course, it's becoming like they're becoming intrigued. Like, okay, well, maybe we should start accepting Bitcoin for payments because it's gonna save everybody money.
Yeah.
So Amazon, I believe there are certain things you can buy with Bitcoin there. Newegg, they accept Bitcoin for stuff. Microsoft, because Bill Gates, he's heavily invested in Bitcoin. He endorses it. And what was I going to say? So yeah, so as far as buying at a store, you can do that. Now, what I have on the way this week actually, it's called a BitPay card, right? So it's a regular Visa card. You can transfer your Bitcoin to this card, and you can use it just like regular money. Swipe
Really?
it. I go to ATM, you take money out. Yeah, so you convert your Bitcoin back to USD on
Grocery
the
store and
card.
all that.
Yep.
Mm.
I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna go live fire and test it out when I get it. But that's just another method that you can actually use it in the real world. So
Oh man.
And what's your platform where you're going live? Like, do you have like
just
chats or
Facebook.
something?
I just go on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
man. This is pretty amazing, man. It seems
yeah,
like
it's crazy, man.
the internet's really taking over. Like they said, the internet was going to take over, but
Yeah.
damn, this is like it.
Whole new
This
level.
is some quit your job type stuff, man. Like literally, like I'm not working right now because I'm making money with Bitcoin. Like if I want to withdraw, whatever I need to pay my
XYZ.
bills, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Easy and do what I want to do throughout the day. That's why it's so crazy. Can't nobody tell me not to do it.
Right.
It's, they're gonna say.
Right,
It's
right,
my
right,
bank.
right.
It's my bank.
Yeah, man. So, y'all, you better get on this Bitcoin, man. Stop playing.
It's crazy, yo.
It's getting real out here. I know. I got my wallet yesterday, so I'm gonna get a few more. I'm about to do my research. I got my man's right here, so
I got him, man.
he said find somebody that do it. I got him,
Yeah, I got you, man.
and he got y'all too. So make sure you know what I'm saying.
Another thing too, man, is like a lot of people that I know, especially in the black community, like we're afraid to invest in anything. Like we don't even understand what investing means and passive incomes. Like above all of that, like when I found out about this is like, man, like this is really something that we can all do. Like, and it's not something that we have to have $500,000, $1 million to get into. Like we don't have to know the man in the fancy suit or none of that. Like the information is there. Like I got it. I'm just a regular dude right now. But I got the information, and like there's nothing that anybody can't take it away from me. And me sharing it, it's helping the Bitcoin community. It's helping my people out because they're able to change their lives. Like this is life changing stuff. And yeah, man, that's pretty much.
So you think people can pay their student loans off of Bitcoin?
Absolutely, man. You can, whatever you want to buy, man. A yacht, a boat, a student loans. Like, there's always a strategy behind it. Once again, it goes back to having somebody in your corner who can shift you in the right direction. Like, for instance, in a year, I'm probably going to be close to 6 figures in Bitcoin. I'm not going to deposit that into a bank account. You know what I mean? Like, that's just stupid. So, my guys have given us a strategy in order for us to cash out, like I told you before, with the local trading. So, some people might not know that. Some people might be like, man, I'm just going to deposit this into the bank. And then, it's a whole other thing with that. But So, it's all about the information, man. And
So really do your research.
Really do your research on your own, and then again,
And be consistent.
questions.
You can't bullshit.
Nah, this is serious. People are feeding their families doing this, man. This is a real legit business. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's the best thing ever happened to me so far in my investing career world. So,
Yeah, and I think this would be a good stepping stone, especially in the black community, because like you said, people people don't invest like that, man.
Yeah.
People, I think in our community, their first reaction is like, you better go get a job.
Yeah. No,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You better go get a job. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with working hard, but it got to be a means to an end because, you know, everybody got a certain way that they want to live.
Yeah.
And 9 to 5 is not going to get you there. It's going to keep you afloat.
Yeah.
It's not going to. You're never going to get out the water. It's just going to keep you from drowning. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. We need to stop trading time for money and use our money to make more money. That's really the name of the game. That's what the rich do. That's how they stay rich. Our time is valuable. It's all we have. As much as we can save that and do what we want with it, the better life we'll live.
Yeah.
That's what I'm about.
Definitely. It definitely seems like Bitcoin can bring you a better quality of life. Definitely.
Straight up, man. Straight up.
Especially if you do it the right way, man.
No doubt. Yeah.
I'm
Man.
on board. He's been trying to convince me for long.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, I don't know, man.
And-
I just
too.
don't
I
know.
had it today.
Did
so,
you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just got my boy. He just jumped on board today, man, and he's already in love with it. It's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
what's up.
But
That's
it
what's
makes
up.
sense. It just makes sense.
Yeah,
And it's like it's not controlled, man. And that's the main reason why people can't get where they want to get now is because
yeah,
you got doormen, you got people at the door, and it's like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It just depending on who you are, you might get in, you might not. You know what I'm saying? But this gives everybody the opportunity
Yeah,
to
exactly.
trade and, I mean, hustle at will, man.
exactly. Well, you can make as much as you want to make with this, man.
So say if I wanted to sell a couch, I can be like, yeah, I'm selling the couch and accepting only Bitcoin.
Absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. My boy he met the other day. He does graphic art. He's like, man, what do you think about dude said he could pay me in Bitcoin. What do you think about that? I was like, shit, yeah, of course. Why
Right.
not? Why not? That's gonna be worth more tomorrow.
So your
Let's get it.
Bitcoin just, okay, I get it now because say you have a wallet, you have a certain amount of Bitcoin in it. The more, even if it's just in there and you forget about it, you just live your regular life,
Mhm.
the value of Bitcoin in general goes up.
Yup.
So that little $500 that you invested in or whatever, however much it was, you go back and look and you like, oh man,
Yeah. Yep.
I found my password and I
Yeah.
checked it out and it was booming.
Yeah,
You know what
it
I
might be
mean?
$5,000 in there, man, for sure. Yeah, that's literally how it works.
Man, so do you think it would be a smart idea if people went and got business loans from the government and flipped it in Bitcoin?
Check this out, man. That's another strategy that people who are really
With the
interested in
shits?
it,
Like, I mean,
yeah, and don't have cash. Like people are doing this. Like people are straight up doing this. Man, this is crazy. I didn't have to do this because I was ready. But people are going and getting 0% interest credit cards for what, like 20? Is it 30? Nah, it might be 18 months. It might be more than that. And they're investing it the way I'm telling them to invest it, right? The way we do it. So they're making that money back to pay their credit card off in like 3-4 months.
right.
You feel me? So they're using
They're-
bank's
they're-
money
Right.
to make, pay them off.
Because, I mean, it just sounds smart. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
why not?
To somebody who like money, it just sounds smart if you can get a loan
Yeah.
and flip it in Bitcoin
Yeah, leverage. You can leverage,
Oh,
man. That's
man.
what leverage is about.
and just keep flipping.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
That sounds good.
It sounds good, man.
Yeah.
So, like, what are some of the... I don't know. I feel like
Keep going,
sometimes...
man. Ask me something.
I feel like sometimes we make things sound good, but also I don't want to
know,
lead people
what are
astray.
the downfalls?
Because we talking about a lot of the positive shit, but I want people to also know it ain't gonna be peaches and cream. Like everything is, you know what I'm saying? Everything
Everything's an
is
experience.
an
Yeah.
experience,
Right.
and everybody's experience is different. So like,
Right.
what are some of the bad experiences that if not that you have had personally with Bitcoin that maybe someone else has experienced? Say they lost that USB that they
Yeah,
hold
that's
on them,
happened.
or
That's happened.
one of the wallets that they signed up for wasn't credible and they finessed everybody out they Bitcoin
Right.
type
Yeah,
deal.
that's-
Who
that's
reimburses those type people,
There's no
or
reimbursement. There's no
It's
reimbursement.
just a gamble.
or you need to just
So-
go to secure sites, or
So, well, yeah, there's a bunch of sites out there that are BS. So, you can't just go anywhere, Google buy Bitcoin, and just click on the first one. Like that's not always the best option.
right.
We use a specific one for a specific reason, based on their security. Their security is a lot more upkept than other sites, and etc. So, some of the downfalls that I've seen. The number one number one is waiting too long. Like, I don't know how many people that I ran into that said, "Man, I knew about that 4 years ago, man. Like, damn, if I would have invested then." So that's the main thing, is to not try to put it off too long, thinking that trying to just ponder on it, because then once again you're gonna pay way more
Right.
for less than if you would have just did it. That's the number one mistake I see people making, the downfall. Second is, depends on your tolerance level. Like, I have a high tolerance level, risk tolerance, right? So, and I'm patient. Some people are like they watch every second, like of what's going on in the
That'll worry you crazy, huh?
Yeah,
Be like, when's it gonna come? When's it gonna?
Yeah, like,
take my hands off it.
But I mean, that's the whole point of investing. You have to.
Yeah,
you have to let it
can't
sit.
be looking for an immediate
right,
return.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. For new investors, though, I can definitely see that being a problem, because it's like when it hit 3,000 the other day, it was at the highest it's ever been. Of course, we was all cheering. I'm like, damn, I'm glad I did this. At the end, like 2 days later, it dropped back down to like 2,300. So if you bought at that if you bought at that 3,000, in a sense, you lost $300. Essentially,
Right.
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Or $600 but you have to know that over the long term, like, it's
You'll
gonna
be all right.
it's gonna surpass that. So the way it's so volatile, like it jumping up and down, like that could be kind of scary for some people. But it's okay for us because we haven't invested. We have to keep it in there for a certain amount of time anyway. So no matter what it's doing right now, it really doesn't have an effect on what we're doing, because we already have invested. We're not really buying more because we already got ours what we wanted, and it's growing on its own. The other thing is security. We use two-factor authentication on everything. People don't know what that means. Meaning, when we log into where our wallet is or where our investment account is, log in. Then you also have to confirm on your phone a code to make sure it's you actually logging in, because that kind of just a second layer of security from a hacker logging into your. So if a hacker logs into your account somehow,
You're done.
and they transfer your.
But if you don't have your phone,
you're done.
Then,
Right, exactly.
But that's the same thing with the bank account. If a
Yeah,
hacker
it's the
got
same
in,
thing.
I mean, if you don't have that type of protection, then
Right.
I mean,
Right.
But another bad thing is you've had people in time who they're not robbing the bank physically and they're not hacking the bank, but pretty much they work at the bank and they just take a penny out of everybody's bank account.
Yeah.
Right.
And if
right.
they got 100,000, 300,000
Right,
people, now you
right.
got some chicken. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. It seems a little bit safer, but it's gambles either way with currency. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. You just gotta be
Yeah.
smart about it, man. The only other thing I can think of is, so with the Bitcoin, when you send and receive money, there's this big long string of numbers and letters. It's probably like 15 digits long. So if you mistype or you don't put in the right number, even if it's one letter off, it'll go through, but it might go through to somebody else or it might go through to nobody. And there's no.
And you just asked out.
Yeah, you asked out.
I mean, how can you get that number wrong if you're trying to get paid?
No, you can get the number
Yeah, if you
wrong.
type- if you
I've
just type
sent
it
money
in on
to a
phone
wrong
or
bank
something.
account before.
Oh
I
my
have.
God, you just gotta double check.
Yeah, you
I've
got-
always,
yeah. Double check the first three letters, the last three letters always.
Yeah.
Make sure those are the same. Try to copy and paste as much as possible. Try not to manual type in those wallet addresses. And man, that's the only thing that I've seen that I've been warned to watch out for. Everything else is just pretty much is what it is.
Yeah, man. This is
Just watch out for little slip ups. I understand that.
Yeah,
And that'd be my problem. I will accidentally send it to the wrong person.
somebody be
And
like, "Oh,
Yeah.
right,
Thank you. Who said this?
man."
I want to speak to this.
Yeah, this is definitely some good information, and I encourage everybody who watches this to definitely write some of this stuff down. Go to Google, go to some of the people you know who deal with it, or find some people who are willing to talk to you, who deal with it, and just go from there, man. Just use your instinct, and be smart about it, and just know this is a long haul thing, man. This is not like a quick hustle.
Right. Yep.
This is something that you gotta. This is like an investment plan. You know what I mean?
Yep.
you could be working your regular life for the next 10 years, and then next 5 years. I mean, it just depends on who you are. You know what you really trying to do. If you just want to make a quick little 25 and move to Thailand and live like a king, then that's what you're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what you're gonna do.
Right.
But yeah, man, this is definitely some good stuff. But y'all been fun.
What else I got?
I got some questions. I know y'all got some
No, I'm
questions.
staying. Now I'm just trying to figure out
Yeah,
how
I
to
was
get
just
in.
soaking
Like,
up the
I'm
information because
Yeah,
I've
some.
never even heard of such, but it sounds a lot similar to like stock market a little bit.
Really similar.
But it's got
Really similar.
like, what would you say the difference is between the two?
I would say, it's a good question. I would say Bitcoin is more fun. It's like more. It's more. I don't think it's as complicated.
Okay.
I don't think you have to do as much work, like as far as like knowing when to put your money out and all that kind of stuff. Like look at it every day, and like I don't think you have to really do that. And another thing is with Bitcoin, if you want to be a local trader, you can. Like if you don't want to invest,
You don't have to.
you can just buy and sell high all day long. You know what
Okay.
I mean? You can just do that. Like people send you MoneyGrams to Walmart, and you pick up your money. You just pick up money all day. That's really what traders do, and you can just do that.
Right.
So stocks, you can't do that, of course. So it can be fast money if you want to drive back and forth to Walmart all day. But otherwise, if you just want to chill and do what you're already doing, then you invest it. I think
and
that's
just
the
let it
difference.
grow. Like, just
Yeah,
let the,
we'll do both.
Yeah.
Do both too.
Man, I need to find a landlord that accepts rent in Bitcoin.
Please, I think that's the future though. Like, I think that's where it's headed because when you really think about it, like, money is just becoming so.
Everybody uses the card anyway, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know too many people that keep a lot of cash unless they just real geeky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like all the geeky dudes keep like big wads of cash on them, but other than that, man, most people keep their stuff on a card or they feel more secure like that.
Yeah. It won't be long, man. It won't be long.
So what happened if like the grid went out or something? Like the power just kind of.
I feel like if that happened, then money wouldn't even matter. Like if the grid really went out, like
I mean, if
would
something
have to
like
go
that
out.
went out and came back on, would you lose all of your content? If there was like a massive,
I would say this
type of virus created to just destroy this currency so it doesn't take over and
that's
change.
not possible. That's not possible.
You don't think so?
No.
It would have to take out everything, I feel like.
Yeah.
It would have to take, like, when you think about it,
Right,
our banks are online, our money, we don't have our money. You could have $1,200 in the bank or whatever, but if it goes down, then what is money?
Yeah,
you might better shut a few mining machines down, but after that becomes immune to whatever hit.
You think it'll be a problem when Bitcoin becomes more important than credit? When it comes to the point where, you can have your credit in the fours, but you got some chicken on Bitcoin, so you living how you want to live.
Definitely. No, I can definitely see that happening, man. I can definitely see that happening. Because, like I said, if you have Bitcoin, man, you have power. Like, you have value. You have something that, for one, a lot of people don't have right now. And when it gets to that point, like, you definitely win it.
So what's like the biggest thing you've seen sold that can be purchased in Bitcoin? The most expensive thing you've seen that can be sold and purchased in Bitcoin?
I personally haven't shopped around to try to buy anything tangible. But I would say cash, man.
Yeah.
I would say cash, because my dudes right now, kid you not, I've seen it with my own eyes. They have people wanting to buy they have $1 million in Bitcoin, a ledger that they can't fulfill. Mm-hmm. People want $1 million worth of Bitcoin to buy for these people in cash, but they can't. It's not a simple process to get your hands on that much Bitcoin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it's only a certain amount.
It's only a certain amount, but how are you gonna deposit the money to get to buy the Bitcoin yourself with? You see what I'm saying? You can't.
So can you do hand transactions?
You can do that too, yeah, but you won't make as much that way because unless you're gonna drive all over the country. You know what I'm saying?
Going out of pocket to
Yeah,
get there.
yeah. And I wouldn't want to meet nobody that got
Yeah.
$200,000 trying to give me cash. You know what I mean? That's a little risky.
Yeah, definitely.
So over the internet is probably the best way. Have them send it to you. If that makes sense.
Is it illegal to send large lump sums of cash through the mail?
I mean, they will definitely.
It's not?
I don't know. It'll be peeped.
If they open it and find out, they might maybe, but that's the only other way. That's the only other way. Because in order for me to buy $1 million worth of Bitcoin, I'm gonna have to deposit,
Right.
$1 worth of money.
Right.
Right. That's the problem we have. So we actually, me and my team, we're trying to actually like get this whole NSB, we're basically where we can accept large amounts of cash from people without being like red flags.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Deposit it to banks.
That's another question I had.
Throw it at me, man.
So, as far as I just lost it. I lost it, y'all. Help me out.
What was that name that y'all were looking for?
Oh yeah, it's Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
him. He's boss.
Yeah.
Man, he's the GOAT.
Yeah, he's the greatest of all time, bro.
So, like, that's what I was going to ask you. Is there Bitcoin right now that's not purchased? Or all the Bitcoin is pretty much purchased, and you have to get Bitcoin from these people who already have purchased the Bitcoin that's in circulation?
Right, yeah. So the Bitcoin that we're buying is definitely already out of circulation. So I believe it's I gotta look it up. Every so often they release more Bitcoin out into the market. That's what I was saying about.
So who releases more Bitcoin into the market?
Good question. I know the miners transact it, but I don't know where it essentially comes from. I don't know who approves to say, okay, we're going to release this much amount of Bitcoin this year.
At this time,
Yeah.
right.
I don't know.
Maybe it's an algorithm.
It's
One
probably
of
an
these
algorithm, could be.
supercomputers that
Yeah, it's probably part of what some of those mining machines do. After it gets a certain threshold or something.
It would have to be.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, it can be controlled.
Yeah, exactly. There's not one person that can hit a button and be like, this is how everything's
Or make
go.
a decision.
And that's the whole
everybody's
idea, right?
independent.
Yeah.
Yep, so I don't know, it's a good question. I'm going to have to go home
I'm
and
going to check it out.
I'm interested in that. Excited.
Well, we've been talking for about an hour about some Bitcoin.
Killing the
I
game,
know.
man.
I think we should. I just want to make it all Bitcoin.
Man, man, you should have a Bitcoin class, man.
I know, man. I actually am. Matter of fact, tomorrow,
At the library.
library,
right?
yeah. So
let everybody know.
Man. So tomorrow, if you're in Lexington, come by the new library off Man of War. It's not necessarily a Bitcoin specific type class. It's really just financial literacy 101, goal setting. Just really trying to break everybody's minds down to really thinking about what's important and like really how. Like I've worked with a lot of rich people and I see what they do and I've kind of stole some of their schemes and stuff. So like I'm really just out to help people and let them help them see the world like in a different light. So we can get rich, man. Like it's wealth out there, it's available. We just gotta have the information to know where it's at and how to get it. And I'm trying to empower our minds, man, and see if we can come together and get something going.
Definitely. So do you think it would be possible to start a Bitcoin investment business in Lexington?
Absolutely.
Just so you
really
can get
easy.
people on in your community?
It'd be real, yeah, exactly. I would love to do that because, like I said, like I've seen what it does. I've seen what it's done to my life. I've seen what it's done to my mom's life. I've already got the blueprint really already set up, and it's really just getting another group of people, man, who really feel the same way I feel about it. You know what I mean? Because I don't know any other urban guys that are really into the game right now other than me. I would love to see some more of us get involved with it. You know what I mean? It'll feel good to me. But yeah, definitely, man. If y'all down to talk some Bitcoin game whenever, I'm down. We can have meetups whenever. I can give y'all the whole game. And yeah, man, change some lives, man.
I was also thinking it would be cool if you did something on Google Hangouts.
You know what?
Meet up.
That way,
Yeah.
it'd be convenient and people could just get on from their phones,
Right.
wherever they are, and peep game.
Right.
And that way, you know what I'm saying, you can build a real good following.
I thought about that.
I mean, I wanted to go so bad, but I can't even get out there tomorrow.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
what I do tomorrow then is I'll just go live tomorrow during the seminar, man.
Yeah.
So people who can't make it can watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Do that, and whatever turnout is, you know, it's if I can change one person's mindset about financials and how everything works in the world, because really, man, like they keep this stuff from us purposely, man. Like that's one of the big things that I found out. Like if it wasn't for my guys, you know, they're not you know, African American or anything. I don't feel like I would have ever known about how all of this works. You know what I mean? So I'm always online. Like I'm always like with the new stuff, like what's new in IT, what's new in technology, and I didn't even know that it was this dope. So
That's
I can only
very
imagine.
true.
You know
That's
what I
very
mean?
true, because even when I read articles, if you don't know what Bitcoin is, you're not even caring about what the article is.
Yeah.
Because there was an article saying the guy who does the antivirus stuff for computers, McAfee, he invested like $10 million into Bitcoin or something like that. And a lot of people were probably like, you know.
You see what he said though?
No, I didn't see what he said.
Can I cuss on
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I actually made a post the other day on it, man. Like he said, he's so confident in this. Like he said, in the next 3 years, if Bitcoin doesn't reach 500,000 per coin, that he said it on Twitter, that he's gonna go online, and he said he would eat his own dick. Like, no shit. Go on my page and look at it. So I'm like, okay, this dude's big time. He feels that strong about it. 500K, you know, and I already got 2 of them things.
Right.
So,
man, that's you're right, man. Because that's another reason I wanted to have you on here, because a lot of people don't know about it, and it's not mainstream information, and it definitely hasn't touched the urban community yet.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like the urban community definitely, because we be so marginalized.
But it's
in the hood is where you can find all the schemes firsthand.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not saying that Bitcoin's a scheme, but any way to generate money as a hustle or whatever, you're going to hear about it in the hood from somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anybody talk about Bitcoin except for him.
Right. No doubt.
You know, and I seen it on Dope, but it didn't make sense because, you know, it was a movie. Didn't even know that existed. Like a whole black market or whatever.
Right.
They consider it black market because it's not mainstream. But,
yeah.
you know, a whole digital currency, man.
It's gonna take over.
Man, it's wild.
It's gonna be how we pay for things, man.
And I feel like the people who don't jump on, it's gonna be a lot of people left behind, man.
Left behind, dog. It's gonna be sad.
A lot of people left behind.
It's gonna be sad to see, yo.
That's what it sounds like.
Reverse the entire class.
It will. I think it will.
Yeah, it will.
And it's just gonna be and it's not even gonna be about racism or whatever. It's gonna be about the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah. It definitely allows us to be able to bridge the gap, man. Like, I mean, you can get wealthy.
That's like
really
ownership for real. Like,
yeah, bro. Like, no doubt, nobody can take it from you, dog. Like, it's just a number. It's crazy. It's just a number, but it's worth so much.
So does Bitcoin only matter because the U.S. dollar matters, or because tangible currency matters in general? Because if
say it again.
All right, like say if the dollar didn't exist, you have no reason to even trade Bitcoin. For a dollar. So
It definitely be no reason to, like.
It's only as valuable as the currency that's out now.
Well,
deflates and inflates.
Yeah, well.
To a certain
Let me
extent.
see how to answer that. How can I answer that? I think you're asking where Bitcoin comes in when it comes to when it comes to the value of other currencies? Is that what you're asking? Something
Yeah,
like that?
pretty much, yeah.
Like if
say
money,
all the other
if
all the
US
other
dollars
currencies
didn't
decreased
exist,
and they didn't mean anything, that means Bitcoin would be a lot more expensive to acquire.
Absolutely, yeah, because of course everybody would definitely be trying to jump on that train.
So what do you think would be the big turn to where everyone's using Bitcoin and they're like, forget the dollar?
I think when they find out when they talk to somebody like me and they get the real game, because one thing you got to remember is the government hates this, right? They know about it, they hate it because it's stopping them from doing the cruel stuff that they do with our money. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff is like, if you Google Bitcoin right now, you'll see a lot of stuff. Oh, Bitcoin dropped 26% in a day. Like, those are government-related people trying to scare people away from it. You know what I mean? So that's why I said you can't look at everything that you see online, because a lot of those articles that are bad are not Bitcoin people. Like, those are people that don't want it to be there.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
What are some of those reputable sites? Like, do you have some
Like
for
as
us?
like as far as where to buy it, or like where to like get information on it.
Both.
Is it Bitcoin.org? I think that's a good site. I think it gives you pretty much a whole basis on what Bitcoin is,
Mm-hmm.
like the history of it and all of that. But there's so much stuff out there on it. As far as buying Bitcoin, Coinbase was a good one, but I don't recommend that one anymore. That's the one that I said that got investigated by the IRS, trying to get people's information. So that was the easiest one to get involved with. Like, you can actually start create an account, put your card on there, and you can actually start buying that day. So we use a site called CEX, but it's a hassle because they're so backed up. Like, if you add your card, it might take like 2 months for them to approve your card.
Okay.
And that's where
Because they're approving
So
so
it's
many
a
users.
process.
yeah, so many people are it's a whole process, and some people get frustrated and they don't want to do it, and then some people just would rather just pay cash, and that's when they go and buy it locally, send it through MoneyGram or something like that. So they have to go through all the mess. So, but for me, like, I'm already embedded. Like, I already got my card set up and stuff. So if somebody wanted to buy some Bitcoin, they could, like, I could do a form. They could just give me the cash, and then I could buy a form and transfer it to their wallet form.
Right, and then you can use that cash to
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. So do you know any people personally who are like super rich off Bitcoin?
Most definitely.
Not super rich, or okay, well, yeah.
Yeah, most
super
definitely.
rich.
Yeah, most definitely. People, there's some people that
You-
what do
you
you
have to
consider
give us no
rich?
I mean, like Negro super rich, like
Comfortable.
they get 100,000, 200,000. He think he the shit. You know what I mean? That type of rich. You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't know nobody personally, but with the investment company that I'm with, you'll basically make 5 times on your money. So if you put in 20 grand, you'll make 100 grand in a year. So you turn that 20 into 100 grand, and that's not including what the price of Bitcoin does. That's just period.
Right.
So if it increases, that 100,000 could turn into 300.
So you couldn't take that out in that year. You have to keep it in for whatever.
For 6 months.
Right.
6 months minimum is what your seed money has to stay in there. But you can withdraw your returns the next day.
In
like,
cash.
Yeah, well, they pay you in Bitcoin.
Okay.
So yeah, so you can withdraw that from there and convert it back to USD if you want.
Right.
So the day you invest, the very next day, you see how much they're paying you, and you can withdraw that amount if you want. But what we do is we do compound interest. And for people out there who don't know what compound interest is, it's basically you take your returns and you automatically invest it back in. So instead of withdrawing it, you use that money to buy more. It's like buying more shares with
What you
just made. So when you do that, that's how it really builds up for you.
Right. Flipping, but you're not. It's a
You can't
continuous
see
flip.
it. Yeah. You flip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a continuous flip.
Yeah.
And whatever you make off that flip, it go back into flipping.
Yeah.
It's like what Dame Dash talked about. He was like, I'm always broke. 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
flipping. He'll never got the money in hand because he's always putting into more businesses to make more money. But I mean, that's business
That's how
stuff. You know what I mean?
That's how you feel. So
what
yeah,
you gotta
man.
do.
So it's people making a lot of money with this, man. Like I don't know how much my boys have made. What put me onto it, just doing the local trading. Like I'm sure they're making. I'm sure they're making at least $5-6 grand a month just local trading in Bitcoin all day, and they have their money invested. So they'll take some of the profits from that, and then they'll reinvest it back into the investment company. You know what I'm saying? So they'll cash some of it out in their pocket, and then they'll use the extra cash to buy more Bitcoin with it.
Right.
So yeah, they're playing it real well.
Have you heard of any people in the black community, in the urban community, like in the music scene, or actors, anybody in Hollywood that are black, talk about Bitcoin?
Man, no, man. And that's why I've been really trying to be like, I'm not an expert by any means. I've been involved for probably about 3 months now, but I've done so much research, like I can speak to it. But no, man, it seems like it's an open market for us, man. And like, I'm really trying to like take charge and really be that guy to be like, man, like, you want to know about some Bitcoin? I don't know about this, man. You know?
Right.
And hopefully, you know, they spread the word to their people, man, and it just starts to spread, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised though that I haven't seen anybody else really that's involved with it like I am.
Yeah, me too. It's weird.
Yeah, it really is. But it just shows you, man. It goes to show you, like, they've probably heard of it, but then they Google it, and then they see all the
numbers, and then it's like,
they don't have nobody. They don't have nobody that can give them the game. So it's like, damn, this shit look like scam. You know what I'm saying? So they don't
You know what's crazy? I wonder how things would change if, say if it was like, some of the young upcoming rappers, like people who influential, who like younger people look up to. You know what I mean? If they in a interview, would mention some stuff like that.
Yeah.
Would it change like the paradigm of some young people? You know what I mean?
That'll change everything, bro. That'll change everything. I think people will start selling beats for Bitcoin, selling verses for Bitcoin. I think artists will start getting paid for their shows in Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like, trying to hassle over a check. Saves you a trip from the bank. Like, it can eliminate a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And all you gotta do is hit a button and you got it right there in 5 seconds, man. It's crazy.
Man. Hey, y'all. It's been real about this Bitcoin. This is some good information, man. This is definitely some good information.
I gave you everything I know, man. So, hey, do your research, but definitely, if y'all got any more questions, man, just hit me up. I love talking about this stuff. I got a lot more to learn, but I'm at it every day. This is what I do while I'm making my Bitcoin money while I sleep.
Definitely. All right. Before we end, do y'all want to answer any a few different questions before we wrap it up?
Oh yeah, what you got?
I mean, I see some interesting ones on here for real. Everybody's still talking about what the hell.
Oh, I saw that question. Read it out loud.
What was it?
You know what the health is?
No.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, go watch it on Netflix.
What the hell?
All right, what the health? It's pretty much a documentary, man, and it's exposing like the meat industry and
it's like Food Inc.
The dairy
the dairy industry and everything, and it's pretty bad, man. Like, I don't know, man. It's pretty bad.
The changes that it makes to your body over long term.
I gotta get my boy on here, man.
Man, it's crazy because
all about that.
they were talking about
T-Man.
Oh yeah,
He's
he
all
sell
about
hats
the health
and stuff.
man. Huh?
He sell like t-shirts.
Yeah. Man, he knows so much about like this food we eat, man. Like, it's crazy.
It's bad for you, man.
Yeah, he took me to Walmart the other day, dog. He was like, "This water right here, like I thought it was straight water." Like, he's like, "Nah, man, this is some bullshit."
Yeah.
Like,
pH level low as hell.
Yo,
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow, you know all of this, yo." I was like, "Man, yeah, he's really tough on that."
Yeah, man. That's what I was. I think that's what I was telling Brian. I was like, the water, man, is just because it's water don't mean it's good for you.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can go to a store and get some pH strips and drop the pH strips in there, and it'll tell you if it's alkaline or not.
Yeah.
That was our biggest thing, because when we first got started on it was like, I don't know, like almost 2 years ago. But alkaline water was helping us so much.
Yeah.
Like, I lost like 120 pounds.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn.
Just from changing my eating, like the stuff that he be talking
Yeah.
about, I peeped it too.
That's wild.
So it's like when you get on that, it just goes.
When you
I'm
there, it's
gonna
kind of
check
hard to
that
go
out.
back, man.
It's a show?
Yeah, it's a documentary.
Alkaline
It's
water.
a documentary.
Okay.
And this
Um,
guy, it starts off like the guy,
Awesome.
he's pretty much researching like cancer and diabetes and where it's
Okay.
coming from and all that. And then it like come to find out it's like pretty much coming from the meat and shit. And
Yeah.
because like the conditions the animals are in,
Yeah.
all the antibiotics and all the chemicals and shit they gotta
Yeah.
give the animals to keep them a little healthy
Yeah,
until they
yeah.
can kill them and give them to us. And it's like we getting all this
Man,
stuff.
It's crazy, dog.
Yeah, man, it's
Tap water is terrible for you too.
I-
by the
yeah,
way.
yeah.
If anybody still drinks tap water, please don't.
yeah, man. Let's stop doing that.
Yeah.
That's for the
It's
birds.
bad for
Man,
you.
like this water right here, like he hit me to something like all these ingredients. It shouldn't be all these ingredients in this water, though.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You should just
You know
say
what I
water.
mean? Like, yeah, like what you put sulfate in my water for?
Right, man, it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So
I don't even eat eggs no more, man.
Nah.
Eggs?
They said one egg is like smoking 12 cigarettes.
Shit,
It's
no
all,
shit.
yeah, it's like all cholesterol.
Yeah, we saw somebody at
Nah.
what was
Yeah,
his
like,
name?
even
He
the
ate
egg
like
white.
a dozen eggs.
Nah, no way.
Oh yeah, that's my man
Egg,
John.
period. Like,
No way.
Don't eat it.
My man John. I don't know if John's
You
watching.
really gotta.
But John, if you watching, man, you
I
need
watched
to.
John. We got drunk one night. John ate a dozen eggs at Waffle House. He's a bodybuilder, but he ate a dozen eggs.
Yeah.
Shit.
He smoked so many new that
Back,
Well, it's gonna hurt, man.
Oh my goodness!
Well, it's
Like,
gonna hurt, man. God,
yeah, man, it's messed up. And it was crazy because you know how they say milk does a body good, but we really not even
Yeah,
supposed to be drinking milk
yeah.
at all. Like
Yeah.
it's not
Okay.
good for us.
Yeah.
It's to build up a baby
Okay.
cow that's
Yeah.
supposed to be like 1,000 pounds or
Right,
whatever. Like,
right. That's
and we
crazy,
only
bro.
200 pounds. We be getting all man. It's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good. Let me
Man.
see what else we got on here. Oh yeah,
Are
we'll
those,
go back
are
to
those
the
questions
questions.
that people are asking on here? Or y'all got-
Well, they send it to a link, Google
okay,
document,
okay,
and then
It's
we
like a
just.
form, and then it
Gotcha.
just
Yeah.
pops
Okay,
up.
okay.
Okay, well, the question was, I watched What the Health this past weekend. What tips do you all have for migrating to eating plant-based lifestyle? For migrating to eating a plant-based lifestyle.
Okay.
So, you gonna start? Yeah, she lost all the weight. Let her talk.
So you can like quit cold turkey, or you can like wean yourself off of it. But what we did was actually, I was really honestly disgusted once I figured out the stuff that I was putting in my body. Like I was like, that's why I feel so bad.
Yeah.
So we started eating like steamed vegetables and chicken, and then eventually it went to like all veggies, and then I kind of like fell off whenever I moved to DC because we were eating chicken wings all the time. But, to migrate, I just say, okay, alkaline water is distilled water or spring water and a half a key lime. So that's how you make the water alkaline.
And also, if your water is like, if you got all that BS in your water, man, you can just drop a half a key lime in there, man. Just squeeze it in there, and it'll help it out. I mean,
Yeah.
not everybody
Limes at
can.
the grocery store.
Yeah, key limes. And
afford
they're not
to
the
get,
regular
like,
limes.
decent
They
water.
like the little
They're like
limes.
real
Limes.
tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, key
I'm
limes.
about to write that down.
So then just try. Don't be afraid to like try food. Try the vegetables that you see. And I mean, until you can grow your own garden, work with what you got. Because Kroger, I know that they're not all organic, but work with what you got.
Yeah, definitely work with all you got.
Work with what you got.
Work with what you got. And
Go to Aldi. I like Aldi a lot.
Aldi
Yeah.
has like some of the best veggies that I've had.
So
But I think one of the things you can do is make your meals hearty. Because I know when you eat meat, those are like hearty meals. When you eat like a whole chicken leg quarter, and then you got rice and your sides or whatever. So like, what I was doing for her, and I still do it to this day, I'll have a bowl and I'll get like some brown rice or some wild grain rice or whatever. I'll make some of that and cut up some veggies. We'll have like carrots, zucchinis. We'll boil
broccoli,
some sweet potatoes and cut those up. We'll have
Beans.
broccoli in it, black beans or pinto beans or lima beans. And we try to make falafel too. And falafel is just pretty much chickpeas or garbanzo beans, whatever you want to call them. It's the same thing. Put it in a food processor, get it mushy, and then
and cilantro and parsley. That's what you need. And
Yeah,
then
cilantro
anything else you
and
add
parsley.
into it, like, and it's just like a meat substitute. When I was making it, it was
Think
like,
about making a bowl like you're going to Chipotle, but you ain't putting no steak, chicken, or beef in that shit. That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
See, yeah, so
Eat
me and
like
Crush
that for a
went
while.
to Qdoba. That's the first time we went out because normally we would go to McDonald's or
Yeah.
Wendy's or something like that. But we was like, okay, well, where are we going to go? And he said Qdoba. So we went, and we always get the bowl,
Yeah.
but you would just get it without the meat.
mhm.
Yeah.
So everything else, toppings and all, everything else but the meat. Minus the cheese and, you
Yeah.
know, stuff like that. But, I mean, it was good. I was surprised.
I might
And you
try
still
it.
have the same taste that you're looking for. It's just without the
Right,
meat.
right.
Yeah,
I might try it out.
definitely.
And we were surprised.
Yeah.
It's good though.
Yeah.
It's good. Burritos. We ate a lot of burritos.
I eat a lot of tortillas. That's like my downfall because I will be quick to grab some veggies and then I'll grab a tortilla and I'll put all my veggies in the tortilla. So, and there's ways to make tortillas out of like beets and
Pinterest.
broccoli. Yes,
Make
get
sure
on
you stay on
Pinterest.
Pinterest. Pinterest got all the
Yes.
vegetarian meals for like under $10 and all that. Black bean burgers, everything. Man.
Yeah.
Pinterest is your friend. Pinterest is your friend.
So yeah, I think that's great. A great show. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, man.
We've got
Um,
YouTube over here. We've got Facebook right there. So
Yeah, definitely. But for Facebook, I gotta turn y'all off.
yeah,
It's been real.
it's been real.
Yeah.
See
Be
ya.
Be back soon.
Peace.